My name is Diana Ferris. Edugence has developed an easy-to-read dashboard for all reports, including district assessments, STAR, TALPAS, MAP, college readiness, campus assessments, DRA, and a portfolio entry screen. To get to this area, after you log on, go to the reports in the left-hand area. You can see the different rows with the different cards in each area. The cards are similar for each assessment. You see district assessments, STAR, TALPAS MAP, college readiness, campus assessments, DRA, and a portfolio screen. As you scroll up, you can still go back to the old reports page if you prefer that view. An abundance of detailed information regarding student expectations may be found under the district assessment section under rosters and item reports. We're going to spend some time looking at those two reports. So go to rosters on district assessments and look at SE performance. From the landing page, make selections of the campus, the year, the tested grade, and the course that you're interested in looking at. After I've made those selections, I'm going to click the green arrow to generate a report. You can see the different options at the top of the page, including grade, teacher, campus, teacher summary, students, and groups. We will discuss those in detail shortly. All of the SEs that have been tested are listed in the top row in ascending order, directly under the campus name, the tested grade, and the subject. You can hover over any one of these SEs to get a description about what the SE is testing. You can click on an SE to get information about the students who have tested on that particular SE. You can also see a color-coded index. These shadings will represent the average performance of a student across the SE. As an example, I've selected SE 8.5G. Identify functions using sets of ordered pairs, tables, mapping, and graphs. When I look at my list of students, I can see the test as I hover over this column. This will tell me the name of the test. If there's more than one assessment, I can hover over the next area as well. You can see the questions that tested this particular SE. In this case, question 1, 3, 4, 9, and 15. These are color-coded in green if the student answered the question correctly, and red if the student did not answer the question correctly. The overall average percent will be shown under the percent correct. So for instance, this student out of the 5 questions only got 1 question correct for an overall average percent of 20%. As I scroll down, I can see this student took the first test as well as the second test. So now there are 7 questions overall, and out of the 7 questions that were tested, he answered correctly 3 of those questions for an average percent of 43%. You can click on the student name and go to the student profile. You can also click on the 3 bars to get to the student assessment history. At the top of the page, you will note 2 Excel exports. The first one will export only the SE that you have selected. The second one will export all SEs for the students. The next selection is teacher. This page is arranged very much the same way as grade. However, you can choose teacher, class, again year, tested grade, and course. Click the green arrow to generate the report. Choose the SE that you're interested in viewing information about and performance of students. In this case, I'm going to choose 8.8C. Again, you can see the description appear. You can also see it appear here right above the names of the students. This is arranged in the same way you can see the questions that were tested for 8.8C and performance of the student. The green again indicating the student answered correctly, and the red indicating the student answered incorrectly. Again, you can hover over the column to see the name of the test. The average percent correct for that SE over all questions and all tests will be presented by the student name. It is color-coded, which still matches the index at the top of the page. The next tab is Students. You can choose the campus, the teacher, class, year, tested grade, course. Click on the green arrow to generate the report. All students falling in that parameter will be listed below. You can choose any one of those students to get SE performance and how he or she did on each assessment. You can hover over the titles to see the names of the assessments. You can see the SE description, the average percent correct, and the number of times that particular SE was tested per assessment. So for instance, in this case, 2 questions were tested on this particular assessment for SE 8.11AS. In this case, on 8.12D, there were 7 questions tested for that particular SE, and the student answered correctly 85% of the time. You can look at different students simply by clicking on their name. You will then get information about their assessments and SE performance. The last tab is Groups. Selections are similar with campus, teacher, selecting a class or all classes, the year, tested grade, course, and clicking on the green arrow to generate the report. You can see the index at the top of the page that shows the different shadings representing the average performance for an SE across all assessments. So for instance, if I scroll down, I have the different bands that correspond to the index at the top, the students that fall within those ranges based on their performance on 8.4C across all questions and all assessments that have been administered regarding this particular SE. The next area we want to discuss is progress monitoring. Under Rosters, click on Progress Monitoring and make your selections across the top row: campus, grade, year, tested grade, course, and click on the green arrow. This will produce a roster with student names, previous STAR performance, as well as performance on all local assessments. Color codes follow the legend at the top of the page. This can be exported out to Excel using the Excel icon. You can drill down to the student profile by clicking on the student name, as well as accessing student assessment history by clicking on the 3 bars. Information about these students can also be seen by clicking on Teacher. You can change the name of the teacher, choose one or all classes, click on the green arrow, and now you can see students belonging to this particular teacher. This is arranged in the same manner as the first page, with information about the previous STAR performance as well as performance on all local assessments. The next area we're going to look at is Growth Target. This will give you information on scores students need to achieve in order to show growth. Click on the campus, teacher, class, year, tested grade, and course, and click on the green arrow. This will give you information about the previous STAR assessment. The next column gives you information on what the student will need to score in order to achieve the expected goal. The next column gives you information on the score the student will need to achieve to get accelerated growth. Following that is information about local assessments. As you hover over, you can see the name of the assessment. You can also see information about progress, To understand more about that, click on the question mark, and you can see how students will fall into accountability and